Sun Yat-sen was born on November 12, 1866, in the village of Choihong, in the province of Guangdong, near the Portuguese colony of Macau, to a family of peasant farmers. At age 10, Sun Yat-sen began his education at a local school. 3 years later, he went to live with his elder brother, Sun Mei, in Honolulu, Hawaii, where he studied at Iolani, a British bishop's school. It is believed that at this time, he converted to Christianity, adopted Christian beliefs and values in which would later shape his revolutionary career. At Oahu College, run by American missionaries, Sun learned about the American Revolution, which inspired him. In 1886, Sun studied medicine at the Guangzhou Boji Hospital under the Christian missionary John G. Kerr. He would ultimately earn his medical license from the Hong Kong College of Medicine for Chinese. Of 12 students, only 2 graduated, and Sun was one of them. In 1867, Sun had an arranged marriage with fellow villager Lu Muzhen at the age of 20. She bore him a son and 2 daughters. Sun subsequently married Song Ching-ling in Japan, October 25, 1915, though he did not divorce his first wife due to opposition from the Chinese community. Sun gave up his medical practice to contribute to the transformation of China into a Western-style constitutional power. He harshly criticized the corrupt Manchu Qing dynasty, run by the tyrant Empress Dowager Cixi, who failed to protect China from foreign invasion.
The Chinese people have only family and clan solidarity. They do not have national spirit. They are just a heap of loose sand. Other men are the carving knife and serving dish. We are the fish and the meat.
In 1884, Sun established the Revived China Society as his first step towards a revolution to bring forth the Republic China. Sun was exiled for 19 years after a failed coup he plotted in 1895. During this period, he traveled to Europe, the United States, Japan, and Canada, raising funds for his revolutionary activities. Dr. Sun Yat-sen's most notable contribution was his 3 principles of the people, his political philosophy to make China a free, prosperous, and powerful nation.
三民主义，第一，民族主义；第二，民权主义；第三，民生主义。
It is said that the ideology was heavily influenced by Sun's experiences in the United States and contains elements of the American progressive movement championed by Abraham Lincoln. Sun credited a line from Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, "Government of the people, by the people, for the people," as an inspiration for the 3 principles. The principle of Minzhu is commonly known as nationalism, literally populism, or the people's rule or government. By this, Sun meant freedom from imperialist domination. To achieve this, he believed that China must develop a China nationalism, as opposed to an ethnic nationalism, so as to unite all the different ethnicities of China, mainly composed of the 5 major groups of Han, Mongols, Tibetans, Manchus, and the Muslims, which together are symbolized by the 5-color flag of the First Republic.
An individual should not have too much freedom. A nation should have absolute freedom.
The principle of Minquan is usually translated as democracy, literally the people's power or government by the people. It represented a Western constitutional government. Sun divided the government into 2 sets of powers, the power of politics and the power of governance. The power of politics are the powers of the people to express their political wishes, similar to citizenry or parliament in other countries. The power of governance are the powers of administration. For the powers of administration, Sun proposed a 5-power constitution. It provided for a central government composed of 5 yuan, or branches of government. Similar to the United States, where Sun Yat-sen went to school, there were to be legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The last 2 branches, the examination, which was to administer the selection of candidates for the bureaucracy, and the censorate or control, which was to check up on the honesty and efficiency of the government, were traditional Chinese administrative components. Sun hoped that these divisions would help safeguard the rights of the people. Sun was known for combining Western ideals with Chinese tradition. The principle of minsheng is sometimes translated as the people's welfare or livelihood, government for the people. This concept may be understood as social welfare. He defined livelihood into 4 areas: food, clothing, housing, and transportation, and planned how an ideal government could take care of these for its people. Sun died before he was able to fully explain his vision of this principle, and has been the subject of much debate with both the Chinese nationalist and communist parties. Sun was the preeminent leader of China's Republican Revolution. Although he was in exile during the actual revolt, he did much to inspire and organize the movement that overthrew the Manchu dynasty in 1911, and through the Kuomintang Party, paved the way for the eventual reunification of the country. After the successful overthrow of the Qing dynasty, Sun was elected as the provisional president of the Republic of China. Sun's revolution had been a series of defeats before the establishment of the Republic of China, and with the newfound success of the revolution, Sun became known as the national father of modern China. After the success of the revolution, he quickly fell out of power in the newly founded republic, and led successive revolutionary governments as a challenge to the warlords who controlled much of the nation. The principles of the people have a place in the rhetoric of both the Kuomintang, led by Sun's protege Chiang Kai-shek, and the Chinese Communist Party, led by Mao Zedong, but with completely different interpretations. The difference in interpretation is partly because Sun seemed to have an ambiguous attitude to both capitalist and communist methods of development. In addition to the ambiguity, his untimely death in 1925, before he had finished his lectures series on the 3 principles, have led to the different interpretations. When the Kuomintang and the Communist Party split in 1927, marking the start of the Chinese Civil War, each group claimed to be Sun Yat-sen's true heirs, a conflict that continued through World War II, with the Communist Party winning the conflict, forcing the Kuomintang to flee to Taiwan. Sun Yat-sen did not live to see his dream of a unified China. He died of liver cancer on March 12, 1925, in a hospital in Beijing. As the forerunner of China's revolution and the father of modern China, Sun is widely revered amongst both the Chinese and the Taiwanese.
For 40 years I have devoted myself to the cause of the people's revolution with but one end in view: the elevation of China to a position of freedom and equality among the nations. My experiences during these 40 years have firmly convinced me that to attain this goal, we must bring about a thorough awakening of our own people and ally ourselves in a common struggle with those peoples of the world who treat us on the basis of equality.